I think one of the biggest reasons people never actually change their lives is that they're embarrassed to act like the person they want to become before they're actually that person. There's a word for it: LARPing, live action roleplay. It's not actually a TikTok thing. People have been doing this for decades, dressing up, stepping fully into a character or a scene, long before any of us had a phone in our pockets. The internet just picked it up and pointed it at something else. And honestly, I think you should probably be doing more of it. Just not the costume kind, unless that's what you're into, I guess. Now, before you assume I'm telling you to fake being rich on Instagram or rent a car you can't actually afford for a weekend of photos, that's not what I mean. That's not what any of this is about, to be honest. What I'm actually talking about is simple, even if it sounds a little strange out loud. Act as the version of yourself you want to become before you actually become them. Do it enough, consistently enough, and over time you'll actually turn into that person. It sounds almost too simple to work, but there's a real difference between two versions of this idea, and the difference is everything. There's bad LARPing. That's the version most people already picture. Think of stuff like pretending to be successful when you're not, flexing money you don't actually have, selling a course on something you've never done yourself. That's not what I'm telling you to do. That's just lying, dressed up in nicer clothes. And then there's good LARPing, acting like the future version of yourself before you have proof it worked. Not lying to anybody else about where you are, just refusing to let where you are right now be the only evidence for who you're allowed to become. That distinction is the whole video. Everything after this is just that one idea applied. So let's start here. Who is that future version of you specifically? Not vague, specifically. Are they in shape or still figuring that part out? Are they confident walking into a room or still working up to it? Are they financially secure? Not some specific number, just able to check their bank account without a knot in their stomach. Able to say yes to an opportunity without panicking about the cost. Get a real detailed picture, not a vibe or some faint image. An actual person you could describe to somebody else. Here's where this stops being some vague manifestation idea and becomes something you can actually implement in your own life. Believing you'll become that person isn't enough on its own. The way you actually get there is by taking real actions right now as your current self that reflect that version of you. If the ideal version of you is in shape, the current version starts showing up at the gym consistently and actually learns something about how muscle is built instead of just guessing. If the ideal version of you doesn't answer to anybody else's schedule, the current version starts building something on the side, even small, even slow. If the ideal version of you is confident, the current version starts doing the uncomfortable thing anyway. The hard conversation, the follow up, the thing they would normally avoid. The power in this isn't pretending, it's proving to yourself through small actions that the gap between who you are and who you want to be is closable, one decision at a time. And there's a real reason this works, and not just some motivational one. Your brain physically rewires itself based on what you repeatedly think and do. It's called neuroplasticity. Neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you make the choice your future self would make, you're not just building a habit on the surface, you're reinforcing the actual neural pathway underneath it. Do it enough times, and the behavior stops requiring effort to access. It just becomes who you are, on a level deeper than willpower. And that's not mysticism, that's biology catching up to what people have been doing on instinct forever. So here's the actual tool, the thing you can use starting today. Would the ideal version of me be doing this? Should I skip the gym today? Would the ideal version of me? Should I actually send that message I've been putting off? Would the ideal version of me? Should I sit down and do the work tonight, even though nobody's checking? Would the ideal version of me? Ask it enough times and enough small moments, and something strange happens. The two versions of you, the one you are and the one you're aiming for, stop being separate people. They start being the same guy on different days of the same process. Right now, I've got a YouTube channel that almost nobody's watching yet. I'm building a business with no clients yet. And I'm still, some days, working on becoming the version of myself I actually want to be. So maybe I am LARPing. But I'd rather spend my time pretending to be the person I'm becoming than settle for staying exactly who I already know I could outgrow. One of those eventually becomes real, and the other one doesn't. I'll see you in the next one.